In 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up a signal from deep space that was so powerful, so impossible, that the astronomer who found it wrote one word on the printout, "Vichu, that signal has never been explained, and it's not the only one." Over the past 60 years, scientists have detected signals from the darkest corners of the universe that defy everything we know about physics. Some last milliseconds. Some repeat in patterns that suggest intelligence. Today, we're counting down 7 signals from space that science still cannot explain. And number 1 will change how you look at the night sky forever. Number 7. The Lorimer Burst. In 2007, astrophysicist Duncan Lorimer was reviewing old data from the Parkes radio telescope in Australia when he found something that shouldn't exist. A single burst of radio energy that lasted just 5 milliseconds. 5,000ths of a second. But in that tiny fraction of time, it released more energy than our sun produces in an entire month. Let that sink in. More energy than the sun in 5 milliseconds. The signal came from 3 billion light years away. That means whatever created it happened 3 billion years ago, before complex life even existed on Earth. Scientists named these fast radio bursts, or FRBs. And since Lorimer's discovery, we've detected hundreds more. But here's what keeps astronomers up at night. We have no idea what creates them. Some scientists think it's colliding neutron stars. Others think it's magnetars, the most powerful magnets in the universe. But a small group of Harvard researchers suggested something else entirely. They calculated that the energy pattern of FRBs is consistent with artificial propulsion systems. In other words, someone might be powering a spacecraft the size of a planet. And we're picking up the exhaust. Number 6. SHGB02 plus 14A. In 2003, the SETI at Home project, which used millions of home computers around the world to search for alien signals, flagged something extraordinary. A signal coming from a point in space between the constellations Pisces and Aries. What made this signal unusual wasn't just that it existed. It was that it appeared 3 separate times from the same location. The frequency? 1420 megahertz. If that number doesn't mean anything to you, it should, because 1420 megahertz is the frequency of hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. Scientists have long believed that if an intelligent civilization wanted to send a message across the cosmos, they would broadcast on 1420 megahertz, because any advanced species would know to listen on that frequency. It's the universal channel, and something was broadcasting on it. The signal was weak, it was faint, but it was there. 3 times. Same location, same frequency. The problem? When scientists pointed the telescope at that exact spot in space, they found nothing. No star, no planet, no galaxy. Just empty void. Something was sending a signal from a place where nothing should exist. And then it stopped. Number 5. The Space Roar. In 2006, NASA launched a special instrument called Arcade, designed to detect the faintest radio signals from the earliest stars in the universe. What it found instead was something nobody expected. A signal everywhere, in every direction, 6 times louder than anything they predicted. Scientists called it the Space Roar. Imagine pointing a microphone at a quiet room and hearing a deafening scream. That's essentially what happened. The signal wasn't coming from any specific source. It wasn't a star. It wasn't a galaxy. It wasn't cosmic background radiation. It was something else entirely. Something that fills the entire universe with noise. And after 18 years of research, we still don't know what it is. Some theories suggest it's an echo from the Big Bang itself. A sound wave frozen in time since the birth of the universe. Others think it might be the combined radio emissions of billions of galaxies we can't see. But the most disturbing theory, that it's the background noise of the universe itself. As if space isn't empty at all. As if something is humming in the void. Something enormous. Something everywhere. And we can't see it. Number 4. The repeater. FRB1-2-1102. Remember the fast radio bursts we talked about earlier? The ones that fire once and disappear forever? In 2012, scientists found one that broke the rules. FRB1-2-1102 didn't fire once. It fired again, and again, and again. Over the next several years, this single source sent over 1,700 bursts, all from the same location, a dwarf galaxy 3 billion light-years away. But here's what made scientists genuinely afraid. The bursts aren't random. They follow a pattern. Every 157 days, the signal goes active. Then it goes silent. Then, 157 days later, it starts again. Like clockwork. Natural phenomena don't do this. Stars don't pulse in perfect 157-day cycles. Magnetars don't follow schedules. But machines do. In 2020, a team from Harvard published a paper suggesting that the regularity of FRB121102 is consistent with a rotating artificial structure. Something built, something engineered, something designed to broadcast on a schedule. 3 billion light-years away, older than Earth itself, sending us a signal every 157 days. And we have no idea what it's saying. Number 3. The Black Knight satellite signal. In 1899, Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest minds in human history, was conducting experiments with his radio equipment in Colorado Springs. He picked up a repeating signal, a pattern of numbers, 1, 2, 3. Tesla was convinced it was a message from Mars. The scientific community laughed at him. But 30 years later, in 1928, a Norwegian scientist detected the same signal. Then, amateur radio operators around the world started picking it up too. And then, things got really strange. In 1960, the United States military detected a dark object in Earth's orbit. An object that was not launched by any nation on Earth. It was tumbling in a polar orbit, the type of orbit used for surveillance. And it appeared to have been there for a very, very long time. Some researchers estimated it had been orbiting Earth for approximately 13,000 years. 13,000 years, before the pyramids, before written language, before civilization as we know it. NASA eventually claimed it was space debris, a thermal blanket that drifted away during a spacewalk. But that doesn't explain the signals Tesla heard in 1899, or the signals detected in 1928, or why a thermal blanket would be in polar orbit decades before any spacewalk ever occurred. Something has been watching us. And if the signal patterns are real, it's been watching us for 13,000 years. Number 2. The WOW signal. August 15th, 1977. The Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University was scanning the skies as part of the SETI project. At 11:16 p.m., the telescope detected a signal that was so extraordinary, so far beyond anything they had ever seen, that astronomer Jerry Amon grabbed a red pen and circled it. Next to it, he wrote a single word, "Wow." The signal lasted exactly 72 seconds, the maximum duration the telescope could observe any point in the sky as Earth rotated. It was 30 times louder than the background noise of deep space. It came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, from a region of space with no known stars or planets. The frequency? 1420.405 megahertz. The hydrogen line. The exact frequency that scientists had predicted an intelligent civilization would use to make first contact. For 72 seconds, something screamed at us from the void on the one frequency we were listening to. And then it went silent, forever. For 47 years, every major telescope on Earth has pointed at that same spot in the sky. The signal has never repeated. In 2022, a study suggested it might have been caused by a hydrogen cloud around a comet. But most scientists reject that explanation. The signal was too strong, too focused, too perfect. Whatever sent the wow, signal said what it needed to say in 72 seconds. And never spoke again. And number one, the signal that terrifies scientists more than any other, BLC-1. In 2019, the Breakthrough Listen project, funded by Yuri Milner with $100 million, detected a signal coming from the closest star to our Sun, Proxima Centauri, just 4.2 light-years away. Let me say that again. The signal wasn't from billions of light-years away, not millions, not thousands. 4.2 light-years, our nearest neighbor. Right next door. The signal was at 982.002 megahertz, a frequency not used by any known satellite, spacecraft, or natural cosmic source. It appeared to shift in frequency in a way that's consistent with the signal coming from a moving object, like a planet, or something on a planet. Proxima Centauri has a planet, Proxima b, a rocky world in the habitable zone, where liquid water could exist, where life could exist. The scientists who found BLC-1 spent 2 years trying to explain it away. They tested every possible earthly interference, every satellite, every piece of equipment. They couldn't fully rule out terrestrial interference, but they also couldn't confirm it. The signal remains unexplained. Think about what that means. The most sophisticated alien hunting project ever created, funded with $100 million, using the most powerful telescopes on Earth, found a signal they cannot explain, coming from the planet next door. We've been searching the farthest reaches of the universe for signs of intelligence. What if it's been right next to us the entire time? The universe has been sending us signals for decades. We've captured them, we've recorded them, we've studied them. But we still don't know who's talking. Maybe the better question isn't whether we're alone. Maybe the question is, are we ready for the answer? If this video kept you up tonight, subscribe, because next week we're going somewhere even darker. Sleep well.